Thank you. Chair, Representatives, Senator Simon, it's a pleasure to be in front of you guys again. I know we've had a lot of conversations about education. There's a lot of stuff in the news as well, but I think at this point in time, I want to kind of shed a little bit light on maybe what the impacts of the teacher salary increase allocation is, because I think in the hearts of heart, people are trying to do the right thing, but maybe we just don't understand what the impact at the tail end of that is. So at the end of the day, I know that Board Member Cox talked about $50 to $40. Well, actually what I did was I went back into the ratification packet, which for the first time in 50 years was not ratified in Leon County Schools solely because of salary. It was nothing to do with any of the other language pieces. It was a salary issue. Of the amounts that are there, we have a $37.68 for a highly effective annual contract teacher per month, broken down with the 22% federal tax and almost a 7.65 for FICA. That means the take-home pay is now $26.51 for that month. So break that down by 4 weeks, and that's kind of what that salary increase looks like at the implementation level. Now go ahead and take it as a PSC service teacher who has been negatively impacted with what is now that compression, where our beginning teachers are making almost as much as some of our mid-year, end-of-the-year career teachers. And those individuals will be taking home $21.53 after taxes, most likely. Break it down, it's about $6 a week. And I understand that Commissioner Stassi said that, and others at the state board, that this is very important to get this money into the hands of people because they need it for the holidays. The vast majority of people said this is more of an insult than it is a salary increase because their health care has gone up for many people $68 a month. So now they're taking home less pay this year than they were last year. They can't be here to advocate because they're teaching, right? And they can't necessarily influence things because they're at the tail end of a process. And so my request is, what is it that we can do? I can come up here and I can share all the stats. I can say, well, let's do this program, let's do that program. But ultimately, what is the vision of this legislature that they want for our public schools and our communities? And then how do we start working backwards? That's usually probably my dyslexia. I go backwards a lot of times. I start at the tail end of where I want and I kind of start figuring out what we need to do to get there. So it's just a matter of the reality that we're living in, that these are parents, students, and teachers trying to do the best job that they can by their community. And at the same time, the Schools of Hope thing, where they're trying to deal with some of the Head Start stuff now, we're being told teachers are going to have to move classrooms right now to get 3 classrooms close to each other. So we're disrupting our K-12 program to go ahead and implement another program. And then how does that compound just the operations of the school between lunches, dismissals, and all these things? I think there's some things we just haven't really thought about what the impact is to the students that are already there. Yes, we want to help everybody. Yes, we want to make it work. But maybe we can just pump the brakes a little bit and start thinking about logistically, what does it look like at the tail end? I'm just going to leave you with one little quote from a teacher. She says, "I'm a mom of 3 and I work full time. I take side jobs to make up for my paycheck. Thankfully, my husband makes enough to support our family, but I work longer hours for less. How is this fair?" That's what we want to work with on you. Thank you.
Thank you.